What's up, everybody? Hold on, you know what? I don't think I have my microphone. As you can see, I still don't have a professional looking, microphone just ready yet. Sorry about all that interference. Welcome. So I'm going to try to talk a little bit about what I'm looking at getting in the Criterion Flash Sale that I'm hoping is coming. So if you're not familiar, the Criterion Flash Sale should happen soon. I would have thought maybe it would have already happened. March, close March, not April, right? It's never in April. It's either in February or March is usually when we see that. I saw an influx of people and now I don't, so I don't know. Let's see if hopefully my audio is working better now. Let's see. What can I talk about? So if I can give people a chance to get in here. I did, if you have missed my latest videos, so I was talking recently about this late Ozu pack. And I was specifically talking recently about early spring. So if you're seeing this on the replay and haven't watched that video, you definitely should. And I would actually, if you haven't picked up the Ozu DVD sets, I mean, they still look pretty good on DVD. The Tokyo Story, the old DVD of that does not look very good. And so I may even upgrade that. That's actually something I might upgrade in the sale. Usually don't upgrade, but I might upgrade that. I wonder if we have that. I wonder if they have an upgrade of Tokyo Story. Tokyo Story. Yeah, that might just be something that I have to upgrade as well. Let's see. All right, we're going to try sharing screens here. Hopefully this works on it too. Yeah, Tokyo Story. So if you are a follower of my channel, you will know that I am a huge Yasujiro Ozu fan. Huge fan. And I have an old DVD of this. And usually I don't, like, very often I don't upgrade older stuff, right? Like I won't upgrade an older film, but my copy of Tokyo Story back there is not good. It shakes a lot. There's a lot of shaking, a lot of frame issues. But this is a stirring evocation of elemental humanity and universal heartbreak, the crowning achievement of the unparalleled Yasujiro Ozu. The film follows an aging couple's journey to visit their grown children in post-war Tokyo, and it was based on, well, it was heavily inspired by a 30s film. I'm blanking on the name right now. There was a 30s film that it was heavily inspired by, Make Way for Tomorrow. But it surveys the rich and complex world of family life with the director's customary delicacy and incisive perspective on social mores. So Tokyo Story right now on my personal top 100 Letterboxd, the account, I have this as my number 2 favorite film right now, Tokyo Story. But I don't know if it'll stay there or not. Probably. I go back and forth with this. Sometimes I put John Ford there. Sometimes I put Andrei Rublev there, but it's a really good film. So I think I'm going to upgrade this. So if anybody watches this on the replay and you have this copy, let me know. I'm interested in upgrading. It just says it's a Blu-ray, but I mean, it's a lot better than what I have. So next up, so I'm looking at Tokyo Story for the sale. And if you end up joining the chat or the replay or whatever, you can let me know what you're picking up. But we've been through Tokyo Story. So I have a list of these up here. Okay, this one's one that some of you have talked to me about. I'll put it up. A Matter of Life and Death. A Matter of Life and Death. The reason I'm interested in this is Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger worked on this, and that's a good pairing. Very, very good pairing. So after miraculously surviving a jump from a plane, this pilot encounters the American radio operator Kim Hunter, and he's just delivered this person his dying wishes, and face to face on a tranquil English beach, the pair, they fall in love. And I have not, like, I don't know a lot about this. It says there is Technicolor, and one of the it talks about climbing a wide staircase to stand trial in a starkly beautiful black and white modernist afterlife. Sounds pretty neat to me. Let's see. I'll pause here for a second to see if we get some folks in. If you watch this on the replay, and you decide that you're going to get any Powell and Pressburger, let me know. All right. A Matter of Life and Death. So that's what I'm looking at. I don't know a lot about it. Like I said. All right, go back to the next thing. So I'm also looking at, this is one I've been meaning to pick this up. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it this time. So this is Martin Scorsese's World Cinema Project #2. And I think they're coming out with a 5. But I am looking at getting this one because I have seen Eve in Seeing, which is great. That movie's awesome. It's an awesome revenge movie that I'm not sure if I've ever talked about on the channel, but it's awesome. And then Apichatpong Verisethakul, I've liked his films before. Uncle Boom Me was really good, one of my favorites. But there's a film of his in there that I want. And then I don't know a lot about these other ones. Revenge. I don't know how to say that, by the Brazil director. Law of the Border. I've heard of that, and Timepiece Story. I guess that's Edward Yang, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, I should definitely have this, right? So this is something that I definitely should have. I actually didn't realize that there was an Edward Yang film in there. Okay, so I think that's a definite for me. So if you, I know people are kind of coming in and out, and I haven't done a whole lot of these live streams, but I was kind of just going through different stuff I'm looking at for the sale and hoping that I give folks ideas, or people can send feedback either in the chat or after I end the stream. But this is what I'm looking at for absolute sure. I think I really wish we would get more, if you're seeing this on the replay, really wish we would get more Ozu in the collection. I'm looking at some stuff. So some of you are probably going to be looking at Stray Dogs soon. This is my BFI. It's really sweet. But I'm hoping people will get that if they've watched my video on Stray Dog. But the reason I thought of that, Stray Dog. There's another film that I'm looking at. Straw Dogs. Straw Dogs? Not Stray Dogs, Straw Dogs. Straw Dogs. I used to come to these because I don't know my movies. Okay, this is a Sam Peckinpah. So I have somewhere behind me, I have the what was the film? Billy the Kid, the Billy the Kid film that he did. And I think he did Wild Bunch. Really good. Really liked that. Not Billy the Kid. Was it Billy the Kid? Yeah, Billy the Kid. This is a thriller, and it says it's his most controversial. Dustin Hoffman is a mathematician moving in with his English wife to a village. Their sense of safety unravels. And there are iron laws with violent masculinity, which there are in his films. They're very violent. I didn't actually like The Wild Bunch the first time I saw it. I didn't really love it, didn't really get it, but I have grown up since then, really like it a lot better. It's one of those I was a little too young for. Man, that looks sweet. That cover looks sweet with the glass, like the broken glass. This is like the kind of art that this is why AI cannot do art. AI cannot do art like this, where you've just got this perspective. There's so much communicated in that image. And yeah, it's still, I don't know. I just love this art, this cover. It says the climax is the cinematic mastermind's eloquent and bloody vision of humanity. Sounds pretty cool to me. All right. So I'm thinking on that one. Straw Dogs. If you're popping in and out and you have any ideas, let me know of what you might be getting. I was talking about getting one of the Scorsese World Cinemas, one of those. I have a few others here. There's one that has been on my radar for a very long time. It was on Roger Ebert's Great Movies list, and I will do a full video on this most likely. So if you aren't aware, you don't really know me that well. I was an English major, and I used to teach English, and of course, like James Joyce, right, is part of that experience. So we have a Criterion of his The Dead. And I've read like a few sentences of this story. I haven't really read it. It was his last film, apparently. And those of you that like There Will Be Blood, John Huston, Daniel Day-Lewis was really channeling John Huston, I think, in that film. But anyway, this was him as a director. It was his last film. And he adapted, I did not know this, but this was his favorite writer, James Joyce. James Joyce. Man, if anybody was ever able to get a real film of Ulysses, wouldn't that be something? It's a snowy winter in the turn of the century Dublin, and all these people convene. I've also listened to part of this story on YouTube, so that could be kind of fun. If I thought people would listen to it, I would read the whole short story and piece it together, maybe, but that could be kind of fun. I don't know. Probably not. It's a long, short story. Probably like forever for me to read through it. But Ebert was a huge fan of this. I've heard this, but I really just wanted to sit down to this and maybe read more James Joyce as a natural consequence of this. I've tried Finnegan's Wake before. It's very hard. It's like Finnegan's Wake is not easy. So I don't know about that one. And was it Dubliners? I need to brush up on my skills there, but this is a cool thing to have in the collection. I like good adaptations of books, especially if the director has a vision, right, for that visual language, that cinematography. And I think John Huston was always very good at that. Someone who comments on my channel a lot, who usually has really good insights, was telling me that, I was talking about the Maltese Falcon the other day, and I haven't seen that. in many years. So I'm going to try to pick up a copy of that as well. I think John Huston directed that, right? So, but that's not in the Criterion Collection. All right, let's see here. I have 3 more here that I'm considering picking up in this sale, the flash sale, should it happen. Man, I've got to get if I start doing this for like an actual serious kind of like content, I'm going to get a good webcam, I think. You would think that a computer wouldn't have an atrocious one, but man, this is not a good webcam. Okay. All right, back on task. King Lear, which Kurosawa did his own version of King Lear that I've talked about on the channel, Ran. R-A-N. Ran. It's one of his great films, one of his many great films. The first English language narrative, an anti-adaptation. That is Godard, Jean-Luc Godard, trying to reinvent the syntax of cinema. I wonder if that's actually true or if they're just saying that. Post-Chernobyl world, culture is lost. In a theater director played by Peter Sellers. Oh, that's the that's a famous guy, but he was the Dr. Strangelove. Great film. He's attempting to reconstruct his ancestors' play, and Molly Ringwald is in this, and so is Burgess Meredith and Godard himself. There's a dense layering of sounds, images, and ideas about everything from language to the economics of filmmaking to the very meaning of art in a ruined world. Well, that's neat. Puckish and profound meta-cinematic riddle to be analyzed, argued over, and savored. I don't know. Hopefully this, like, I love Godard. Particularly fond of Contempt as well. That was the most recent I've watched of his. I think I've seen 4, 5, 6 of his films. They're always really good. So can be excited for that one. So if you see this on the replay, let me know if it's something that you think I should check out. I didn't check it out at the time because I just didn't know if I actually wanted to blind buy it or not. But that's what I'm looking at. Let's see. What else do we have? I have 2 more that I'm looking at right now. Should we get a sale? One of them. The Phantom Carriage. I keep talking about this on my videos. And I thought if I'm going to keep doing that it might be useful to actually like get this film and watch it again. I haven't watched this film in a long time. This is the good Chris Carroll, as I like to think of it. There's a playhouse. There's a Shakespeare playhouse in Virginia called the Blackfriars that I've gone to many times that does Shakespeare plays, and they always do a Christmas Carol. But this is similar, right? This is a similar story. So Victor Sjostrom, I think most film fans who aren't as aware of silent films, but they know a lot about films, you may recognize the director who played the old man in Wild Strawberries, which I've covered on the channel before. But he was an excellent director. Like, he's such a good silent director. So the last person to die on New Year's Eve before the clock strikes 12 is doomed to take the reins of death's chariot and work tirelessly collecting fresh souls. And then this story was based on a Nobel Prize winner. And it concerns an alcoholic, abusive, never-do-well, played by Sjostrom, who has shown the error of his ways. Does it sound familiar, right? It sounds like Christmas Carol. But there's the reason this is a really important piece of film history, because, hang on, I'll show you why. So, excuse me. So, if you've seen this movie, if you've ever seen this movie, The Shining, okay, and you aren't aware of this, I've talked about it many times on my channel, and obviously a lot of other people have. This is my film vault copy, by the way, and it's sick. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite piece of physical media. If you're into The Shining, okay, the scene where he does the "Here's Johnny's" bit, or "Here's Johnny," that is like taken pretty directly from this film, and it's awesome in this film. And so I try to hype up this film sometimes, but I don't actually own a copy, which is really sad. So I'm wanting to get a copy of it partially for that reason, because like it just looks really cool to me, to have a copy of it. But I really liked it the first time I saw it. Rich and rich and innovative silent classic. It's a Dickens. I don't know how you say Dickensian ghost story. I don't know how you would say that. I don't know. My English teacher is failing me. Um, a deeply moving morality tale, as well as a showcase for groundbreaking special effects. This was like this movie truly actually like I thought was really good. Better than a lot of Silence. He also has Bela Tarr fans. Okay, you all, I know I have some Bela Tarr fans who tune in here every so often, right? So Bela Tarr's Turin Horse. Okay, Turin Horse, where there's all that crazy wind going on in the Turin Horse. A lot of that, like I've talked about, like the good double feature with that would be the Showstrom picture, The Wind. And I would love for the Criterion Collection to ever pick up The Wind. It's like an awesome silent western that they just need to pick up. But I love Showstrom. There's a film called A Man There Was that I would also pick up. A Man There Was. That's the name of a film that is, I think you can still watch it in the Criterion channel. There's another beautiful silent that I would pick up. So if they got more Showstrom, I would pick that up as well. So, and then there's one more I'm looking at that I think could be good. And for all I know, it's the best one of the ones I'm considering. The Life of Oharu. So Kenji Mazaguchi, this is a peerless chronicler of the soul who specialized in supremely emotional, visually exquisite films about the circumstances of women in Japanese society. And this looked absolutely awesome to me. I'm trying to remember where what is, oh yeah, Sancho the Bailiff. So I talked about recently Sancho the Bailiff on the channel. This movie's incredible, about like these people that are enslaved. And so he directed that, but that's part of why I was considering that. Other things I'm looking at that aren't necessarily like the collection that I think that I wanted to show you all. And then if anybody sees this on the replay and can give me an idea. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah. So this is not in the collection. Got an ad there. What are you doing, ads? I don't know why an ad would come up. Oh, I know why an ad's coming as I'm not signed in. Okay. Shouldn't be having any of that. All right. There we go. Reshare. So Sound of the Mountain. This is a film I'm really, really interested in, because I'm interested in more Naruse. And that may not be how you say his name. It might be like Naruse. I can't remember because I haven't watched his films in a while, any of his films, but I watched one of them, Floating Clouds, I think it was. But I'm really interested in this film because my favorite actress is, or was, Setsuko Hara. I don't think anybody that I've ever seen on screen did more with just like simple expressions than Setsukahara. And obviously, she was the star of Late Spring, which is one of the best films I've ever seen from Ozu, and Tokyo Story, right, which I talked about earlier on this live stream. But I'm looking at Sound of the Mountain on my watch list, and this bride has this father-in-law who's nice to her, but the husband's terrible. I mean, this sounds like an Ozu movie, but it's not. You know, it's a different director. But that's something I wanted to show you for my watch list. And there was one couple other little things I wanted to ask about. Let's see. And then I'm going to put this up because I don't know if anybody will be able to help me with this one. This is not. I'm hoping someone will see this and be like, will tell me yes or no. This looks really borderline to me, but it also looks really amazing. It's not quite. It's not, I don't know. Adam like this. So the cast of Airheads, I didn't know this for a long time. Brendan Fraser, Steve Buscemi, Adam Sandler, Chris Farley, Judd Nelson, Michael McKean, David Arquette. Like, this is a huge cast. There's got to be something to this. And this was I know it's kind of a 90s whatever movie, but there's got to be something to that, right? Like, if it's that kind of a cast, there's just got to be. That's been on my watch list, and so I'm going to see if that's an acceptable movie or not. And something else I'm wanting to watch, it's probably a little better, that I wanted to pull up was, yeah. Yep. Especially if anybody in the replay sees it. Waking Life, Richard Linklater, is one that I was like kind of curious about. So just some stuff I've been thinking about. Most of this, like I said, was Criterion stuff, but I wanted to pop on here. I'm trying to figure out. So what I'm thinking about doing, and if you see this in the replay, you can let me know. What I'm thinking about doing is, at some point, I'm thinking about getting a reasonable webcam, because obviously this is what's on my computer and it's not very good. But I'm thinking about getting a reasonable webcam, and I'm thinking about doing this like on a Monday, because a lot of times over the weekend, like, I get to watch movies. I know people that follow the channel have probably like had a movie or two on over the weekend, right? And what I'm hoping to do is make a regular Monday, like, just kind of talk, about movies with a plan as to what I'll talk about, but it doesn't have to stay like linear, right? Because whenever I do videos, regular videos, I have like a set schedule, and I have like certain things I'm talking about, and I don't really have a whole lot of play around room, and I can't like interact with a chat. But if I did this consistently on a Monday, like, I might be able to build like a certain number of people who might, want to participate in that. And so that's sort of something I was thinking of. And if you see this now or on the replay and want to let me know, it is sort of my thought as like a movie Monday where I just like check in and talk to people about stuff, especially if I watch stuff that I don't necessarily have a video's worth of content on, right? Like, if I watch a movie that I don't feel like it's worth making a video of that week, I can just talk about it a little bit in the live stream. I think it'd be fun. But yeah, that was my main thoughts that I had for this particular time. But what I wanted people to do was to let me know like what you're picking up if we do get the flash sale, which we should, right? It seems like that's something that's going to happen. Hopefully, is get a flash sale. But you can go back there and look at the replay, and you can see everything I'm considering or maybe getting on the flash sale. So I think I'll fire this again around 6:30. Well, I'll try to set a regular time. Thanks for joining the live stream, and check out the replay. Bye.